Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about motion in two dimensions. So let us start our presentation. In this session we will only study linear motion. Here we can see this football player can hit ball in any direction. To define such motions, concept of vector is very important. Vectors are used to represent different physical quantities. For example, displacement, velocity and acceleration. Here we can see vector D can be represented in this format: xi plus yj meters. This unit can specify the type of the vector, that is, it is a displacement vector. The meaning of this vector is that there is x amount of or x unit of displacement in x direction and y unit of displacement in y direction. Then vector can also be used to represent the velocity vector, and format for that will be vxi plus vyj, where vx is velocity in x direction, where vy is velocity in y direction. Next concept is position vector. Position vectors are those which are passing through origin. Here we can see vector A is passing through origin, that is why it can be said that it is a position vector. Position vectors can be specified by using their coordinates. Here coordinates are 8 and 4, and x coordinate is represented with the help of I cap, and y coordinate is represented with the help of j cap. So this vector becomes 8 I cap plus 4 j cap. This is all about vectors which are passing through origin. If suppose vector is to be calculated which passes through two different points, in that case we will calculate that vector by doing arrowhead coordinates minus respective tail coordinates. If suppose this is a vector and this is arrowhead and this is tail of the vector, then you should find out arrowhead coordinates and subtract tail coordinates from the arrowhead coordinates to calculate the vector passing through two different points. Here arrowhead coordinates are 2, 10 and tail coordinates are 8, 4. So subtracting respective coordinates we will get 2 minus 8i plus 10 minus 4j. It becomes minus 6i plus 6j. So this way one can calculate the vector passing through two different points. Next concept is about addition of multiple vectors which are in loop. For vector addition of such loops, for example this p, q, r, s, t, here vectors in the direction of the loop will be taken as positive and vectors in the opposite direction of the loop will be taken as negative. So vector A is in the direction of the loop, that is p, q, and qr is in the opposite direction of the loop. So that this vector will be taken as negative vector. Vectors which are considered from tail to head are taken as positive, and vector B here is from head to tail. The vector B is considered from head to tail, that is why it is negative vector. So such two vectors are there, one is vector B and other one is vector E, because in P, Q, R, S, T this vector is in opposite direction. That is why here we can see the vector B is negative and also vector E is negative. All the remaining vectors are positive. Vectors can be transferred to any position in space without changing its magnitude and direction. That means if suppose there are two different vectors and one is, these two vectors can be added only if the head leads to the tail. That means one arrow should lead to the tail of the second vector. That means this vector can be transferred up to the head, and now you will get the output for this vector. Similarly, one can transfer the vectors in any position without altering their magnitudes. So this is another example. Here again we can see that Both the vectors are meeting at the tail. That is why we need to transfer this vector to the head of another vector. So this is transferred now. Now this will give from this tail to the next arrowhead, the total output of the resultant vector will be this. So magnitude of the resultant will be equal to square root of x square plus y square, where x is the length of this vector and y is the length of this vector. If suppose there is angle theta in between two different vectors, here again we can see the tails are mating at this point. That means to add the vectors we need to transfer this vector up to this arrowhead. By doing this we will get this, and output will be from this to this. So resultant, in this case the resultant can be calculated, or the magnitude of the resultant can be calculated by using this formula, square root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Next concept is relative vector. In this case, let us assume that both the cars are moving with same speed. Here both the drivers will experience that nobody is moving, even if the cars are moving. So this is defined with the help of relative vector. Let us assume both the cars have speed of 80 km per hour in x direction. That is why it is represented as 80I for both the cases. So relative velocity of A with respect to B can be calculated by using this formula, vector A minus vector B, because A is the first point and B is the second point. Here A is the observer, whereas B is the reference point. For this case, cars are moving in opposite direction. That means for this case the velocity is 80I, and for this case velocity is minus 80I. In this case the relative velocity formula is same, but the directions are different. That is why velocity of A with respect to B becomes 160I, whereas velocity of B with respect to A becomes minus 160I. Up till now we have studied these many points, out of which first is position vectors pass through origin. Next is vectors can be translated anywhere in the space. Then vector in direction of arrowhead is positive and vector in direction of tail is negative. The vector passing through two different points can be calculated by using this formula, where 2 indicates the position for head and 1 indicates the position for tail. Relative velocity of A with respect to B is equal to velocity of A minus velocity of B. And magnitude of the resultant is square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So you should remember these many points. Let us solve some problems. In this first problem, it is given that mod of vector A plus vector B equal to mod of vector A plus mod of vector B. Then the angle between A and B will be. There are 4 different options given. Let us see all the 4 different options. So in this first option you can see the 90-degree angle is there, and for any sort of vectors which are at 90 degree, the resultant will be like this, and this is not equal to, the magnitude of resultant is not equal to the magnitudes of these two. So same thing happens with the 120-degree angle also and 60-degree angle also. The magnitude is not equal to the magnitude of the input vectors, that is vector A and vector B. But for 0-degree angle, the magnitude of two different input vectors is equal to the magnitude of the resultant vector. So vector A plus vector B is the resultant vector. So option C is correct. In this next problem, it is given that a particle is moving such that its position coordinates x and y are 2 meter, 3 meter at time t equal to 0. Let us see the graph for this. The first position is 2 meter and 3 meter. So particle is at this position at time t equal to 0. At time t equal to 2 seconds, the particle is at 6 meters, 7 meters. So this point is somewhere here. And after that, the particle is at 13 meters and 14 meters at time t equal to 5 seconds. So particle started from this point and goes up to this point. So average velocity vector from t equal to 0 to t equal to 5 seconds is, we need to find out average velocity vector. You should remember the definition for average velocity, that is equal to displacement upon time. In 5 seconds, total displacement is from this point to this point. So we are interested to find out this total vector or change in position. So this total change in position can be found by using this formula because it is the vector passing through two different points. So this is the formula which is taken here. So total displacement is x2 minus x1, that is x2 is 13 and x1 is 2. So 13 minus 2i and y2 is 14, y1 is 3. So 14 minus 3j. It becomes 11i plus 11j. Here total displacement is this. We need to find out average velocity. To find out average velocity, definition is this. We will use this definition, and this definition indicates that displacement divided by time. So this is the displacement, time is 5 seconds. So it will give L1 by 5 into bracket I plus j. Here L1 is common from this vector. So option D is correct. In this next problem, it is given that a particle has initial velocity 2i plus 3j. That means initial velocity is given, that is 2i plus 3j, and acceleration is given, that is 0.3i plus 0.2j. So, and the magnitude of velocity after 10 seconds will be. So time is also given, that is t equal to 10 seconds. We need to find out the velocity after 10 seconds. That means we can use the equation of motion for accelerated motions. The first equation of motion is suitable here because we know initial velocity, acceleration and time. We need to find out the final velocity. So we will use this equation, and to convert this equation we will use the vector form of this equation. So it is vector v equal to vector v0 plus vector at. By putting the known values, we can write v0 is 2i plus 3j plus 0.3i plus 0.2j multiplied by 10. If you solve this, it will become 3i plus 5j. This 3i and 2i will become 5i plus this 3j and 2j will become again 5j. So velocity equal to 5i plus 5j is the total velocity vector after 10 seconds. To find out magnitude of this vector, because the options are given in terms of magnitude, we need to take the square root of a square plus b square. So it is 5 square plus 5 square, and the square root of this thing will be 5 root 2. So the answer B is correct answer. This next problem is quite similar to the previous problem, only the values for velocity and acceleration are different. Here initial velocity vector is 3i plus 4j and acceleration is 0.4i plus 0.3j. We need to find out speed after 10 seconds. So using same equation of motion, we can write this particular equation. If you solve this, it will become 4i plus 3j, and this 3i plus 4i will become 7i. This 4j plus 3j will become 7j. So this velocity vector is 7i plus 7j. If you take the magnitude for this, you need to take the square root of a square plus b square, that is 7 square plus 7 square. So square root of 98 is nothing but the 7 root 2. So option B is correct. In next problem, it is given that a body is moving with velocity 30 meters per second towards east. Let us see the diagram for this. This is north, this is east. So the velocity is 30 meters per second towards east. Let us indicate that velocity vector. And after 10 seconds, its velocity becomes 40 meters per second towards north. After 10 seconds, it goes towards north with a velocity of 40 meters per second. Because this is in positive x direction, the I is used. This is in positive y direction, that is why that j is used. Here, the average acceleration of the body is to be calculated. From our equation of motion or acceleration formula, we know that the average acceleration is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Here final velocity is this and initial velocity is this. So we will use this formula here in the vectorial format. by applying vector notation. So to find out acceleration vector, here V2, to find out acceleration, we will put the known values. Final velocity is 40j and initial velocity is 30I. So 40j minus 30I divided by time t equal to 10 seconds, that is why divided by 10. So this becomes acceleration equal to 4j minus 3I, because 10 will divide to both the terms. For magnitude of this vector, we can calculate by using the Pythagoras theorem, that is square root of a square plus b square is the magnitude of any vector. So mod of a will be equal to, or the magnitude of a will be equal to square root of 16 plus 9, that is equal to square root of 25, and it becomes 5 meter per second square. So correct answer for this question is option D. Next problem. A person reached to exactly opposite point on the bank of a stream. That means a person is moving in flowing stream. Let us assume that the direction for flowing stream is this. He reaches exactly opposite point on the bank. That means he is moving perpendicular to the bank. But this movement is the output of two different vectors. One is the swimming direction and other one is the river flow. Let us see what is given next. A person is swimming with a speed of 0.5 meter per second at an angle of 120 degree with the direction of the flow of water. It is given in the statement that the swimmer swims in the direction at an angle of 120 degree with the direction of the flow of water. So we will measure the 120 degree angle from the direction of the flow of water. So this is the direction of the flow of water. So starting with 0 angle. So initially this is 0 angle. Somewhere here it will be 45 degrees angle. Somewhere here it is 90 degrees angle, and 120 degree angle will be this one. So you should measure the angle from the velocity of the river flow. This is the flow of the direction of flow of the water. We will measure 120 degree to the from this direction. So it will become this direction. This is the direction for swimmer. He is swimming in this direction and the river flow is in this direction. Because of addition of these two vectors, the net resultant is in this direction, that is perpendicular to the stream. Let us rearrange these vectors, we will get this. So value of this river flow should be such that the swimmer will come back to straight or the perpendicular direction automatically, even if he is swimming in this direction. So we know the swimmer's velocity is 0.5 meter per second. So this vector is given. Because this angle is 90 degree and total angle is 120 degree, this small angle will be 30 degrees. And in right angle triangle, the side in front of the 30 degree angle is half of the hypotenuse. Here hypotenuse is 0.5 meter per second. So the opposite side of the 30 degree angle will become half of this, that is equal to 0.25 meter per second. So option A is correct. Next problem, the width of the river is 1 kilometer. So this width is 1 kilometer. The velocity of the boat is 5 km per hour. It crosses a river in shortest possible path. So shortest possible path is this, perpendicular to the river, that is 1 kilometer. The time required to do this travel is t equal to 15 minutes. If you convert it into hours, it will be 1/4 hours. And this is the outcome of two different vectors. One is the velocity of the boat and other one is the velocity of the river. Imagine that this boat is traveling in the straight line and the river speed is acting in this direction. In this case, what will happen? The boat will shift its direction along the direction of the river because of the force of the water, and this will not remain in the straight line, it will go in this direction. To keep it going in the straight line, the boat should move in the opposite direction of the river, so that because of application of the force, this will come back to straight line. If it is trying to go in this direction, then it will come back to the straight line and it will go straight. So velocity of the boat should be such that the output should be in the direction which is perpendicular to the direction of the flow of the river. We have the distance for the resultant and time for the resultant. Distance for the resultant is 1 kilometer, time is the 1/4 hours. So the net resultant velocity can be calculated. By putting the values, it will become 4 km per hour. So this is the resultant velocity that is calculated. Also velocity of the boat is given, that is equal to 5 km per hour. But velocity of the boat should be in the opposite direction of the, so that it will come automatically to the perpendicular direction. So this is velocity vector for river flow, river stream, and this is the velocity for boat. By translating this vector, the value for VRS should be such that the velocity for the boat will be perpendicular to the velocity of the stream. So by using Pythagoras theorem, this is 5 km per hour, this is 4 km per hour. By using Pythagoras theorem, we can find out that VR is equal to 3 km per hour. So correct option is C, 3 km per hour.